What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be making a weekly outlook of what I think is going to be happening on the two pairs that I trade. A number of you know that I trade for now, in fact, for the past 2 years at least, I've been trading just EU and NZD, USD. So those are the only two pairs that I trade. So I want to make a breakdown for you guys to make you see what I'm seeing using HRC and why do I see the chart that way. So today we are going to be starting with NZUSD because I've been starting very well with areas in almost all of my videos. For today, I decided to just start with NZD, like because NZD is looking very, very, very beautiful right now. In fact, if you want to use the word seductive. Um, so let's check up on NZUSD. We are going to be going to the futures chart of NZUSD. Um, okay. Okay, nice. So this is what I have on NZDSD. You can see my chart. Um, so this is NZDSD for me. What are we seeing? I'll say it again. I love reading a chart like a story because you actually have to follow what has been going on to know what's going to happen. That's just Forex for you. So let's see. I don't know why this is not loading for now, but currently on NZDSD, this eye here, just give me a minute. Okay. Currently on NZUSD, at this high here, we have M plus W minus D minus S minus, and that high was the true liquidity. And then price took it out here with M minus, took it out. This was the first place I took it out at M minus W plus D minus, D plus, sorry. That means everything was diverging. It's only sessional that was not diverging. And they gave us the sessional here and even here. So price started turning. Um, I want to believe that we got to a zone that was suitable enough for price to turn for monthly. That means this low now is a monthly true liquidity. And what does that tell you? Your true liquidity is your target. Your true liquidity is your target, and your target is your bias. You get so that means price is bearish now. Do you get? One of the ways you can know with HRC where reversal is going to happen. Reversal is different from retracement, I used to say. Retracement is when price pulls back into the current range, while reversal is when price goes back to the origin of that old range. So this is the origin, this is the absolute low. So we expect price to come back to the absolute low and take it out on NZDSD currently. So um we've been aiming for sales. And it's very interesting that price has been actually following that. And the problem about people that trade other pairs is that one, most especially they can't see reversals before they form. For example, for HRC, you could have seen that price is going to reverse. You're not trying to wait for one OB to buy from, or another problem is that when price is selling, they want to when price is heavily selling, they're like, okay, okay, let's buy. Let's find a way to buy. No, it doesn't work that way all the time. You know, it doesn't work. It's not every move that you should buy the dip from so that you don't become dipped. Anyways, so we're expecting to look for a way to join the sale actually. And a very, very beautiful way that I love to join moves like that is when they engineer liquidity. You know, if they engineer liquidity, let's say any high here becomes a true liquidity. Let's say something like this. That high becomes a true liquidity. Let's say maybe sessional true liquidity. A 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 sessional true liquidity. So a minute. Okay, so let's say price engineers to recruit like this, and then while like the engineering liquidity was still being bearish, they come back to take the liquidity. Just look for a zone to sell from. That's your trade idea to continue to sell. You can ride it all the way to this low or to any true liquidity of choice. We have this true liquidity here. So just can ride it to any level. Just that's basically what we're looking for on NZD USD currently. Um, so if you can take the if you are if you are a HRC trader, you just take this thing to check for yourself, you know. Oh, oh, this is a weekly true liquidity right here. And this is the thing. We have a weekly true liquidity here. Oh, I think I should zoom out. Okay, so this I is a weekly true liquidity currently. And this week opened W plus. I don't know if it flipped. Let's check that. And the way I check my signals, a number of you already know that it's different. The way I check my signal is different. So, and I've used every other method, trust me, and this is the best that I've seen so far. So that's plus plus. So it did not flip, price did not flip for me. Um, price did not flip for me. So we have this week buyers in this week. The buyers are dominating this week now, taking out the sellers of this previous week. But yeah, the weekly also diverges. But at the same time, price, I don't think price will have the uh, well, we don't know yet, but let's check weekly time frame. If we have a weekly zone, but I don't think price will get the opportunity to have that weekly zone because um because of a number of things. Let's check. Just now, if there is supposed to be a weekly zone to be this week here, to be this week here. And that whole place is a this low is a true liquidity. So I don't think that will actually hold, but it might still hold, but I'm not putting my I'm not planning to buy from there. So let's say 8 hours, because 8 hours is for sessional. So if we see what price we do from this place here, you know, if price we want to buy from somewhere around there, or even you may not know, but this is that zone entirely. So if I want to buy from any one of these, you know, engulfed zones, and let's say price buys from there, I'm not saying it will, but I'm just showing you the kind of thing that I'm looking for to continue my sales. So I'm just going to look for, okay, let's check the sessional, if there's a sessional trade liquidity there actually. So 7 o'clock opens sellers, sellers. So sellers are this low, and then this one opens buyers. Buy. Now the problem is that this one flipped. Mm, yeah, it did flip. Buyers, buyers, buyers plus. Let's see minus. Let's see minus, minus, minus. So I don't. Okay. Currently, I don't see. Okay, let's see. What did this place open with? There might be a true liquidity here. Okay. So this is not that clear, but it opened. This particular Asian session is not clear. It's not that clear. But let's let's put our mind on this eye, this particular one here, because that high might be a true liquidity. You know, if you let's go to I prefer to check 4 minutes. There's this one I'm checking 4 minutes. You might want to check 4 minutes to check that. I don't want to waste time on this video, but I'll personally do that myself because I still want to check EU for you guys. So let's check around there and um let's see. There are a number of things that I'll look for when price gets around there to see if I'm going to sell or not, or if price is actually going to be coming for this weekly trade rate for now. So for now, I'm still holding up on NZD but I know that price should go for that lowest low. You might not go for it now, but that's the destination. So very, very important to take note of. Um so let's see. This is our destination, this is our target, and then we are midway. So I don't expect price actually to come back to this high. But the funniest thing is price can be crazy and come back there, so you don't know. But I don't expect it to come back here. I just expect it to engineer liquidity. My engineer liquidity with New York, because this is still London now. My engineer liquidity with New York and London and take out that liquidity and continue because I'm not seeing any true liquidity that is valid around here for now. So that's just it for NZUSD. And for Euro USD, let's go for Euro, Euro the toxic pair. So let's check Euro USD. What's Euro USD telling us? Um, so currently on Euro USD, we don't have old, I personally don't have old data of, some of the highs that Euro took out around there. And it's not a must I do. I don't necessarily need to. But for now, what's going on in real USD? Price diverged here. We had monthly diversion here when July opened, but the weekly did not diverge at my own side here. Weekly did not diverge, but still price started selling. Now, that can be due to two things. Why can price still sell when there's a missing coordinate? Well, there's a number of, let's say, two factors to it. One is that one might be that okay, how do I explain this to you guys? One might be that price actually hits a zone that can send price to a particular true liquidity that has been formed before. Maybe this weekly true liquidity, for example. Maybe price has been aiming to hit weekly zone. Price hit it. Price will sell regardless of what this two did. You get what I'm saying? So price will sell come for the weekly true liquidity and take it out. Or if it's a monthly true liquidity, I don't know. Price will sell and come to it. You get, or even it might be a daily true liquidity. Price will sell, come to it, and before continuing the before it continues the buy, um, so you see price has diverged the number of time we had weekly true liquidity here. These two places diverged each other. That's like those are places that have been calling price. So we might want to check, on weekly time frame, especially to see if something has happened um around there to see if something has happened. Like if maybe we hit a zone that's that is weekly zone that could have sponsored price now, or maybe daily zone. Might have been a daily zone too because we had daily trade with this around there too. But that's one. Another thing that could have happened that could have made price to turn, apart from the fact that is that data. You might get data wrong, that and like that's one of the problems that you might have with this. Some of your data might not be exactly correct, so you must give yourself the flexibility of, you know, Yeah, you must be flexible enough to, okay, say, okay, let me be open a bit, to not be strong-headed, um, saying it will not turn, it's not turn. By the time, the moment price add this, I already marked this place. When highest volume diverges, mark it as to liquidity, mark the origin as to liquidity. I already marked it that price can come there, regardless of whether, weekly, weekly is diverging or not. In fact, we don't necessarily need to diverge. They just need to hit a maybe monthly zone. If it's the monthly zone is valid, price it on. But that's by the way. That's by the way. That's by the way. I don't know what's going on with my network these days. It's just getting funny. So yeah, so currently we've been selling on now I want to check the weekly, you know. I want to check the weekly to see. I want to check the weekly time frame to see what's actually going on there, what's actually transpiring there. Man, I hate the way prices network is disturbing my move. Okay, let's check if there is a weekly zone that price actually hits. And there you have it. In fact, this is a very, very interesting one. You can see this here. This is a like this week here is wow. That's a very, very interesting weekly zone. That's for those of you guys that traders, that's rejection block right there. And wicks are very powerful zone points for HRC, wicks especially when that wick is not available as a true liquidity. So and we don't have data of this place, so we can just hope and look at that. That was exactly what price eats before turning back down. You want to see that? Yeah, that's exactly what price eats before turning back down. So, that means let me check monthly so that you don't think, I'm partial or something. Let's just check monthly to see what monthly is telling us, right? To see if we have monthly zone there. This video is becoming longer than I expect it to be already. But let's check. I don't see any reasonable monthly zone here per se. Like, this week, this whole week. But, anyways, for me, if I had this on monthly, I wouldn't want to sell from this because this is like, this is like, this is like, too much consolidation around there. But yeah, not too bad. But I'll be basing my listing on weekly because the zone is actually a bit obvious on weekly. And you can therefore say that price actually turned due to weekly, price actually turned due to, give me a minute, let me connect. Okay, the network is dealing with us big time, but let's just proceed. So you can say price actually turned due to weekly zone that was it. And then that basically means that price wants to go for weekly true liquidity, and we have a number of them here. We have this one here, we have this other one here. So since they are a bit close to each other, I don't expect price to take one and leave one. So I'm expecting price to take this low here, for now. So basically, I'm still bearish until they take first this one, this particular true liquidity, and then this one. So for now, how do I join this cell? Because this week opens, the interesting thing is that you could have joined this cell like at the open of the week. That's the interesting part of the whole thing. Because if you check the way the week opened, that is today is Monday. I'm recording this video on Monday. If you check the way the week opened minus and then gave, took out this low, yeah. Took out this last week low, yeah, on 1 minute. So there was absorption there. That is the last week was positive, that's buyers were there. So that made this high through liquidity. Price took out through liquidity. That's just a line of liquidity kind of entry, and price started selling. So if you guys understand how powerful that is. Anyways, so price started selling and then price has still been selling till then. Price will divert this low, obviously. So I already marked. In fact, all these things that price has been diverging, I already marked there as true liquidity. But it doesn't necessarily mean that price will go there yet. If price does not hit a weekly zone, and I don't see any weekly zone per se around this side. I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. So I expect price to take out this low, take out the liquidity and then here. But it might not do it immediately, like just now, like straight up, and it might. But if it doesn't, it gives us an opportunity to enter more. I already found this sessional true liquidity here within Frankfurt and London, and then I expect price to, take it out into this 8 hour zone. Because yeah, we're on one hour, but I already went to 8 hours to check it. It's an 8 hour zone, so that you won't you won't think I'm just making this up. So you see this week to week zone. 8 hours. That's the 8 hour zone. Yeah. So let's go to 1 hour. So I expect price to just do something like this on Euro USD. I'm giving you guys the kind of signal now. If it happens, that price turns before taking out the weekly true liquidity. I expect price to just do something like this, and then um like this. But if not, because anyways, it's might and it might not. But if not, I'll have to just reanalyze. But basically, I'm still bearish until they take this one and this one. So that's just it for the two pairs, guys. You have it there. And make sure you subscribe to my Telegram, because in fact, maximum value is going to be coming to this Telegram now. And then the YouTube too, very, very important. Just search Covenant Trader Effects on all of this, all of this social media, and follow me on X too. Yes, I post majorly my results on this, and yeah. So yeah, there you have it, guys. The weekly outlook.